Good afternoon from AlphaCars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Hampton location, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2012 Range Rover Evoque. And if you would like to see a high-resolution detailed photo set, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There, of course, you will also find a free included Carfax report, alongside a long list of technical data related to the vehicle's remaining tire and brake life, as well as individual readings from each panel using our paint depth gauge. But today I'll be taking you on a quick condition overview around both the interior and the exterior, as well as showing you some of its most unique features. Now we'll start here as usual on the exterior, taking a look first off at this gorgeous metallic red paint scheme. I always call out paints with a high metallic quantity in the paint because it really accentuates all of the unique body lines that make this Range Rover Evoque such a striking car to look at. Now, as always, I'll take you really close to the panel, looking for any dings, dents, scratches, or irregularities in the way the light reflects off the panel. One thing I'll point out to you as we make our way back is a very subtle ding. You can see it right there in that gorgeous Porsche Boxster there. But other than that, here on the driver's side, it all looks very nice to my eye. You can see here, looking straight down the car, just how wide these little fender flares are over the wheels. They really add a lot of aggression to the styling here on the Evoque. And speaking of the wheels, we'll take a look at these gorgeous 6-spoke 19-inch wheels, finished completely in metallic silver. You can see here, presenting very nicely here at the rear, and these tires are in nice shape just the same. You'll see all of the black plastic cladding with a bit of silver accenting there under the door. All looks great all the way to the nose of the vehicle. And here we'll find another wheel in great shape. Looking here at the front fascia of the vehicle, you're going to find a nice black Range Rover badge here. The Range Rover script at the front looks very nice. Both headlights showing minimal signs of oxidation or discoloration. They look very nice. And again, just really striking styling. This is consistent with the rest of Range Rover's design language at the time, but it's in a slightly different packaging. It's got a very low slung roof. I love the two-door coupe styling on a small SUV. It's a really unique segment in the market. You can also see here in the grille, you are seeing a little bit of wear on that gray painted portion, just a little bit of clear coat oxidation there on the upper layers, but it doesn't affect the outward appearance too much, but of course you will notice it, and we like to point all those things out here. You can see those lower fog lights there on either side, looking very nice. And this will lead us into the passenger side. First thing you'll see on either side are these Range Rover heat ducts there on the hood. Taking a look at the front wheel, again, very nice condition. And we'll go real close to the panel yet again, looking for dings, dents, or scratching. See a small mark under the mirror. However, making our way back to the rear of the vehicle from there, it all looks very nice. Looking here from the rear, we'll also get a nice view of the full panoramic glass roof. That looks fantastic, and we'll get a better look at that once we're inside the vehicle. Here at the rear, you have your Range Rover script, this time in a bright silver, which matches some of the trim here at the rear a little bit nicer. You do have these crystal clear taillights, which are in nice shape, and of course your Evoque badging. Pardon the local automotive enthusiast, giving us a little flyby here for the video. You can see this nice gray trim underneath your Range Rover badging, your blacked out Land Rover and Evoque badges. It all pairs very nicely here at the rear of the Range Rover. Looking a bit lower, you have this two-tone gray and black plastic, flanked by these two chrome exhaust tips, and a slightly more silver diffuser panel, right in the center. But next up, let's make our way to the interior of the Evoque, where it'll look very familiar if you are used to Range Rovers of this era. You have a really nice black leather upholstery coating almost every surface here on the interior. Looking firstly at the driver's seat, you'll find the outer bolster showing minimal wear, lower bolster just a little bit more, but not much at all, and the passenger seat presenting very nicely. Looking just above my head, of course, a excellent view of that perfect panoramic glass roof, allowing tons of natural light into the cabin. Nice solid thunk when you close the door. You can see first and foremost that Meridian speaker there. Loads of speakers all over the doors, but we'll cover that in a moment. First things first, I'm going to fire it up using that button there on the dash. You can see it fires up without any hesitation. If you see any flickering in any of the screens or the lighting in the vehicle, it's only due to the camera, but they all present perfectly to the human eye. You can see here, it's just a service reminder to do the oil change. This vehicle is about to go through the shop here. You can see gauge cluster functions exactly as it should. Looking here at the steering wheel just in front of me, you have all of your controls in great shape, no peeling or issues with the textures on those buttons. You also have your phone controls, your cruise controls, as well as your heated steering wheel, which is a great feature to have in New England. If you've ever owned a vehicle with a heated steering wheel, it's pretty difficult to go back from that. The entire dashboard is wrapped in this really nice leather material. You can see all of that stitching holding up beautifully and no peeling or shrinking on any of these panels. You of course have that silver trim carrying across the center of the dash with those climate vents nicely in the center. Of course, your infotainment system, again, all of the switch gear looking excellent. Just here I have my gear selector with which I can select reverse to show you that reverse camera. And you can hear those parking sensors reminding me that I am getting a little closer to that wall. Put it in park and that all goes away. You can see here just below you have your climate controls. All of that looks great, and one tap here will activate my heated seat. Same goes for the passenger, and I can tap those to get them away just the same. As I mentioned, your gear selector is this knob that will rise and lower into the dash as the vehicle starts and stops. It's got some of that nice piano black trim, some of the only piano black you see throughout the interior, so it really stands out, and it adds a luxurious look and feel to the controller. You also have your drive mode selectors and this retractable panel, which houses 2 cup holders as well as a power outlet and some additional storage, as well as this nice center console armrest, and inside there we have a bunch of media inputs. Now, as I mentioned, you do have that Meridian sound system. That is the luxurious sound system of choice for Jaguar and Land Rover products, and it sounds phenomenal. Of course, having a nice luxurious driving experience like this, it would not be complete without a fantastic sound system, and they absolutely delivered in that regard here in the Evoque. Now, before we make our way up to the front, I actually forgot to mention, I'd like to show you the cover that can open and close via one-touch operation of that switch there. It's always good to see this in operation because in some cases they can bunch up or bind or not really close or open smoothly, and as you can see, that closed without a hitch. Absolutely perfect. So now we're all set in here. Let's make our way up under the hood to take a look at what powers the Evoque. I'll meet you there. All right, so as you can see, we've made our way here to the front of the Evoque, where you're going to be looking at the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged powertrain. Now, this engine is going to get you around 240 horsepower and just a hair under 30 miles per gallon on the highway. I believe the specific figure is 28 miles per gallon. So that's, of course, very nice, especially in the small SUV class. And taking a look at the general condition here under the hood, you'll see a lot more of that beautiful metallic red paint. You have some minor markings here on the forward portion of that painted panel. And here on the sides, it all looks very nice. Your plastics all look great. All of the reservoirs are nice and clean. And as you can hear, the engine is running very happily. I'll let you hear it uninterrupted for a moment. It's paired with a very nice transmission as well. Gear changes are smooth and quick. You have a gear anywhere you need one, never lacking for power. Despite being in a small SUV and a 4-cylinder, it absolutely feels like a perfectly sufficient powertrain. Now, making our way into the second row of seating, I can easily fold this seat forward with one pull on that latch, and then I can power adjust the seat forward or backwards with that switch there. Looking here, the second row of seating, very, very nice materials. As you've seen in the front, you have that drop-down armrest and a nice view of that panoramic roof overhead. Very nice here in the rear of the Evoque. You also have some climate controls and these rubber floor mats fitted in the bottom. Now, lastly, I'm just going to make my way to the rear of the Evoque with one-touch operation. I can raise this tailgate, exposing the cargo area where you'll find the carpeting in beautiful condition. You have these nice rails here with some tie-downs that can be moved depending on your storage needs. You also have all 4 of your original carpets. I actually took these out of the original bag when I cleaned this car up earlier, so these, to my knowledge, are brand new mats, and they certainly look to be. You can see they all look great, and all of the Range Rover Evoque badging there looks brand new. And just below there, we do have the lightly used original all-weather mats, and you've seen the remainder of that set in the second row of seating. Very, very nice back here. You do have some more speakers here at the top for your rear passengers and to create a real surround sound effect. And just as easily as I opened it, I can, with one touch, drop this panel right back down. You'll see it closes and latches without any issues, no binding or hesitation. Absolutely perfect. One more thing I noticed really quick is one more ding just there. Only caught my eye now, but of course we like to point these things out. So if you have any further questions related to this 2012 Range Rover Evoque, please reference the listing at alphacars.com, and there you will find all of the relevant contact information. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you from AlphaCars.